How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about GGPI, which had quite the performance inside of the market today. I was unable to do a video for you guys yesterday, but we've been talking about this play for quite some time. I was saying it was on a steady uptrend. We like the risk to reward ratio since it is a SPAC. And as we get closer to that business combination, and plus we had the Super Bowl ad that did fairly well, many people talking about it. We see more volume in the market. Things are getting interesting. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on FinTel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for GGPI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $12.02, being up 4.61%. On the low, it tested $11.41, and then on the high, testing $12.33. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 6.478 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 3.717 million shares. So we had above average volume on the day, and this is part of the reasons why we saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 67.82. So right in, getting into that overbought territory. And then when we take a look at our moving averages, we are above the 21-day EMA, the 50-day, and as well as the 100-day. So as you can see, we're continuing to look bullish, forming these higher lows. As far as for the high of the day, we ended up seeing it at $12.33. Keep in mind, previously we did have resistance right here around $12.35. So if we're able to pass this level going into tomorrow, yes, I want to see us make that move to $12.50. I've spoken about this before previously, and if we could break through $12.50, that's where things can get interesting, and we can start testing around $13. If we end up having a pullback going into tomorrow, as far as for the low of the day, we tested at $11.41. So most preferably, I want to see us continue this higher low pattern, and I would love it if we can hold up at least above $11.60. I feel this is very doable. It's not too much to ask either, and it can get us ready to make sure we stay in this uptrend so we can make that test going to $12.50. So let's see how it performs as we come closer to the end of the week. Now let's jump into the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for GGPI. Scrolling down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings for February the 16th and as well as the 15th, we have closed positions from Dutch Bank and as well as Vestcor. But then for the 15th, we have SG3 Management LLC with a call with a value of shares of 108,700. And we also have PPAC Gladstone Financial Corp that purchased 10,000 as well. So now when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 46.18%. And for the dark pool short volume, it is just over 1.189 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 900,000, updated 19 minutes ago. And then for the short ball fee rate, it is at 2.59%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 14th, it was at 33.22. And then for the close of the 15th, which was yesterday, jumping 46.18. So what does this tell us? GGPI does have short squeeze potential. The criteria we normally look for is actually double that, which is around 21%, and it stands at 46.18%. So again, keep a very close eye on this play. So now let's go into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for GGPI. So we see on the inflows at 16.69, and then on the outflows at 14.97. So we had an inflow day. day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large, it was 0.60. On the medium, it was 12.92. And then on the small, it was 3.17. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 0.25. On the medium, it was 11.98. And then for the small, it was 2.74. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, February 16th, it being that inflow of 350.75. And then on the 15th, it was at 139.56. So for the past 5 trading days, we've had 4 inflow days. Very bullish. Now, when we analyze the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we ended up having more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, or funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 6.71%. So this is not too bad for a stock like GGPI. Keep in mind, it is now seeing more volume than usual, so we're going to have some more traders wanting to get in and out and take advantage of the price action. But we still have many who are holding on to positions, just like myself. I also hold on to some warrants. I did come up on Twitter talking about it very quickly. So again, if you haven't added me on Twitter, make sure you do so. I'm trying my best to be active for you guys. So now let's get into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for GGPI, that's going to be bringing Polestar public, things are looking really good right now. Like I was saying in my previous videos and when I was introducing it, if you're able to load up on some shares when it was trading under $11, it did give us a solid opportunity. And also it pulled back even further, going down into the low mid $10 range as well. And I was like, hey, if you've done your homework and you've done your due diligence and you feel confident about the play, there's not much risk involved considering it's a SPAC and the floor price is at $10. Here we are. The chart does continue to look bullish as well. So the next level that I want to see us get to is at $12.50. I've talked about this as well. And if we can get above $12.50, things can get very interesting and we can get to $13 pretty quickly, especially with the price action that we've been seeing as of late. We also do see it's on a strong uptrend, showing some higher lows as well. And this is going to grab the attention of a lot more traders. So this is why you want to keep this play on your radar. And another scenario that I want to bring across to you as well, if we end up having a pullback, I want to see us hold up support at $11.60. If we can hold support at $11.60, since we did test $11.40 on the day, then things can get very interesting and we can continue that uptrend. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. There's even more shorts who are invested in this play as well. And we see institutions have loaded up on shares. And you guys already know, as far as for the risk to reward ratio, it is still on our side. It's easy for this stock to get to 13 as well as 14 bucks, especially if we see some more buying that's happening inside of the market. We had the Fed minutes that ended up being released and nothing has changed whatsoever. They are still sticking to the game plan. So we're going to be looking forward to seeing some interest rate increases in March. It's not going to be happening prior to that. They are going to be keeping their eye on the data and so forth, but I'm feeling pretty confident of the fact that we're not going to have any major changes whatsoever. So that's why I'm saying for Jerome Powell, thanks for giving us that brief pump towards the end of the day. So overall, like I say in my videos, make sure you have your entry strategy locked down and as well as for your exit strategy. This is very crucial. You do not need to be trading on emotion. Trading without a game plan is how you lose money inside of the markets. And also you want to make sure that you're building great habits that you can carry with you for the long term, especially if you're going to be trading in the markets on a consistent basis. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I can't wait to see how this stock performs as we get closer to the end of the week. We'll talk soon.